Ian Deakin joins me after today's 3-1 loss on the road at Prescot. First of all, what was your thoughts on that?
Difficult game. I think we had a man sent off after 15 minutes. Handball on the line, but I'll have to watch it back. I'll have to double check. But it didn't look it to me from where he was. But there was a little bit of confusion to who the player was, and that changed the game. I think we should have been 2-0 up by that point. We started really brightly. Tough place to come. We knew what we were expecting. We knew it was going to be physical. The pitch is very bobbly, very uneven. So there's not much football being played. It was going to be kind of in behind, off the shoulder. It's just frustrating for the lads I feel for them because for large parts of that game we were very good with 10 men, and I think it just comes down to being ruthless again. Feel like a broken record with both boxes, and we go 2-0 up. The lads have got something to hang on to with 10 men. Instead we go 1-0 down. Literally a minute after that chance that Harvey's had, and to be fair, the keeper's made a great save, but I'd expect him to put that away, and we get a penalty against us, and next thing we're down 1-0 and down to 10 men, so it was always going to be a tough uphill task from that point, but I think they show real commitment, desire, effort. I think anybody in the ground that was here today, they didn't give up, they tried, kept plugging away, and then the third goal was a real sucker punch, I think, because we go up the other end and score the penalty. If we don't concede that, we're in the game 2-1 and we might nick something from the game, but to be fair, it was a tough uphill task today, and we're down to 10 men, and the lads have given everything. I can't fault them. They were knackered out there, and that shows that they've given me everything today.
So being down to 10 men for the majority of the game, what do you think went wrong in the second half? At half time, I'd say it was an even game. Both teams had chances, and really the penalty was just the difference. But into the second half, what do you think went wrong? Is it just a case of an overload, or what would you say it was?
I think the two goals have come from little lapses of concentration and errors in our fullback position, and they've allowed the man to go past them, and it's very difficult then to recover. You're trying to go back to goal, and you're obviously committing bodies forward, trying to get back in the game as well. And I think the tiredness, they did a lot of running, the lads that were out there, especially the midfield lads who were covering. I left two up front to try and get back in the game, and ultimately I think that just comes down to a little bit of concentration, and I'm not singling anybody out as a team. We were tired, we've done a lot of yards covering the extra man, and it's always difficult to get back into games with 10 men, but I think second half, we tried to get back in the game, and we got caught on the break, and when that happens, you end up against it again to try and get back in the game. But like I said, I'm pleased they kept going. They got themselves a goal, and a little bit, probably too little, too late. But it shows the character of the side that they didn't give up. And I think in the second half, we put them putting them under pressure. To be fair, and their gaffers just come off and said, we're the best side we've played this year, and with 10 men. So it would have been nice to have 11 on there and see how the game panned out. But we weren't meant to be. And like I said, sometimes you just have to park these ones and move on very, very quickly.
So despite the result, there was still positives to take. Getting more minutes again today, Kobe getting on as well as Casey Johnson, and then TC getting his 15th goal of the season. How do you prepare now for a game against Blythe at home, where there's going to have to be changes to the starting 11 anyway, with so many fixtures and travelling, and obviously the suspension for Colin Daniel as well?
Yeah, unfortunately we've got Tom banned next week with 5 yellow cards as well. So Jordan and Levan unfortunately wasn't fit really to probably. I didn't want to risk them at 3-0 down. I didn't feel it was the right thing to do. They're both carrying hamstring injuries, so it was a case of if we needed to we would. But I think today wasn't the right day to risk getting them too injured either. So hopefully we'll have them back fully fit next week. And obviously Colin's out now, probably with a 1-game ban for a professional foul. But I think. We prepare like any other week. We'll continue to work hard. We know what we need to do better. We know what we're doing good. But there's always things to improve on. And I think today it was just a war of attrition. But with 10 men, like I said, it was hard for the lads. There's always going to be an overload somewhere. We're having less man, so it was a case of like I said, we put this one to bed very, very quickly, and we move on, work hard in training next week, and prepare for Blythe on Saturday.